Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Academy IS. Today I am going to cover a, some. Today I am going to cover the questions that comes in the Indian society subject in the recently conducted UPSC CSE 2025. I pick up and selected the questions that falls under the Indian society, and so that you people can know what are the questions, and I do provide the solutions of one questions. The videos will be lengthy, that's why only one questions. I will try to give solution of other question as well. So let's see what are the questions that comes under the Indian society in this year. The first question is, does tribal development in India center around two acts, those of displacement and of rehabilitation? Given your opinion, that's a very tricky question, right? When they asked about your opinions, you whether you are thinking in the one side or you do consider other side also. So that's the main point. Next is, how do you account for the growing fast food industries given that there are increased health concerns in modern society? Illustrate your answer with Indian experience. Again, this question is comes on the Indian context. It's also linked with our syllabus given in the Indian society, that is food and cultures. So basically, you have to show that that despite having growing the food industries, whether we Indian are concerned about our health or not. We'll see the details in answer. Next is, discuss the distribution and density of population. It's fall under the populations of our syllabus category. Okay, discuss the distribution and density of population in the Ganga River basin with special reference to land, soil and water resources. Can you please understand what are those dimensions they are discuss, and here the key words is discuss, so keep in mind, and the key topics areas is distribution and density of population, and that will be in the Ganga River basins with special reference to land, soil and water resources. You have to touch these things. The next is, do you think that globalization result in only an aggressive consumer culture? Justify your answer. This is again very tricky question, so because you have to justify it. You have to show the and both sides, and then you have to justify it. So next is, how does smart city in India address the issue of urban poverty and distributive justice? So basically, you have to show that how this urban cities is able to address the issue of urban poverty and distributive justice. So this is the main highlight of it. This is not tricky. The questions is more or less moderate. This question one. Okay, so let's see the solution of the questions. Okay, so how to write, how to brainstorm, what will be the framework of the questions. I make the solution of this first question, that is, does tribal development in India center around two acts, those of displacement and of rehabilitation? Give your opinion. Yes, they are asking for your opinion. Okay, so how to address it? Okay, so in introductions, first what you say, it can you start by directly addressing the questions. Yes, that's the, sometimes we know that we have to pick up the questions. That will be the good thing. Say that while displacement and rehabilitation are prominent, they are merely one part of much larger, multifaceted challenge of tribal development. Okay, so you can write this it is by writing this you can write such a statement, write examples such as the history of tribal development in India is a story of conflict with the pursuit of progress often clashing with the traditional way of life, symbolized by the painful twin acts of displacement and rehabilitation, right? So you can write with this statement as well. This is that you were showing that history of tribal development is a story of conflict and despite pursuit of progress, often clashing with traditional way of life, symbolize painful twin tracks of displacement and rehabilitation. So you are showing this story as well. Okay. Yeah, so let's come to the body. We have two headings. The obvious answer that is first will be the displacement and rehabilitation axis. We are accepting in the first part of the body we are accepting yes there are displacement and rehabilitation axis, and in the second part of our answer we will write something others, so we'll show some other pictures that that not just displacement and rehabilitation, there are some other most things that's going on in the tribal displacement. Okay, so let's see. So just write to acknowledge the here we're acknowledging the code of the questions. So what we have to do that provide clear reason for this phenomena. Research we have to write that why this kind of displacement is happening. For that because tribal areas is resources is full of resources and a mega development project, dams, mines, industries, they all happen in the tribal nearby tribal areas, and as you know the tribes reside nearby in the forest areas. So to implement those projects we have to displace them, and a top-down development model. See, as if we have to develop on the ground level, so we have to work on the forest and areas, natural areas in the natural forest etc. So, and cite concrete modern example of displacement and challenges in rehabilitations. Here we can, yes, here we can write the modern examples of displacement such as Nilgiri, Nyamskris, and Odisha. So do write those kind of displacement and the challenges in rehabilitation as well. So what kind of challenges is going on? Okay, I think I missed something. Okay, right. That's and so what are the source? No, that's a myth. Uh, Body paragraph and next come to the body's next paragraph answer writing that is beyond the displacement acts. Yes, we talk about the displacement and rehabilitation challenges. Then we have to write, this is where we showcase a deeper understanding, argue that modern tribal policy is centered on others and more progressive acts. We have to, here we are looking at the others different angle as well, not just negative and other some positive initiatives that are government doing and taking. Focus on empowerment and self-governance. Okay, mention the legal and constitutional framework that support this this right. Therefore, Forest Tribal Act, 5th Schedule, 6th Schedules mention this. Hmm. Focus on socio-economic upliftment. Discuss the schemes that are stimulus for the development of tribals. Okay, and policies that aims at health, education, and their livelihood, and focus on cultural preservation as well. Highlight efforts to protect tribal identity. Let me show what are those initiatives. Okay, just a minute. Here I have written collections. Yes, that was talking that for empowerment and self-governance, there was Forest Rights Act 2006, a landmark law that recognized the right of forest-dwelling communities over their land and forest. Yes, they can claim their rights as well. Mention the provision for community forest rights and its roles in empowering Gram Sabhas. The Panchayats Act, PESA Act, 1996. This law extends the provision of the 73rd Amendment to schedule areas, giving greater self-governance powers to the Gram Sabha, including control over minors, forest produce and land alienation. And for the socio-economic development argument, he reached that whole displacement remains a challenge. India's tribal policy, but is evolving, provide a forward-looking statement on the ideal path forward, emphasizing a bottom-up model development based on constitutions and consent. Yes, and have a understanding of this bottom up model of development. Okay, not top down, bottom up. So, can you tell me what is this bottom up development? So, what can be the source and how to study it? See, these topics are directly comes and related to the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and Niti Aayog's reports. Here, when we do cover the economic survey of India, there is separate chapters on the social sector development. So where you will find this kind of data and analysis as well. I will suggest to have some looks on the Ministry of Tribal Affairs to what kind of new activities is going on, and you can write reports from organizations like 8 Years, Association of Democratic Reforms. Okay. Um, that's all for today's. I will make a plans to on answer of others questions. This video will be lengthy if I do it at once. Okay, thanks for watching and have a good day, and please do subscribe and like my channel for such valuable content.